Today, it's my teacher talk. I did speak about this briefly in another one of my videos, um, but I see out in BC, teachers are likely going to strike again. And just a quick bit about unions, I do think that they have a place, but largely for health and safety issues, not so much for wages. And the thing about striking is that if you're out on the picket lines for 4 weeks, 8 weeks, and contracts are usually what 3, 4 year contract. Any raise you might get as well, you've blown it off anyways. Um, I don't think a lot of people really realize that, and teachers shouldn't strike anyways. No child should ever miss a day of school unless there's a very serious health or safety issue. These issues can be resolved during the summertime when you're not attending classes. Teachers are well compensated, in my opinion. Um, on a side note, before any of you teachers try to blow any hot air into any of my orifices, I have to warn you that I have 2 secondary school teachers in my immediate family, so I know the deal. The starting wage for a teacher is $60,000. Your starting wage is more than most everyone else makes. You're probably above the 70th percentile as far as income earners at your starting wage. I'm kind of, I want to say things today that I do and I don't want to say. Teachers complain about larger class sizes. Well, the upkeep on these schools has increased, but also if you guys want to make that kind of money, the school system has to save money somewhere. And putting even 2 or 3 extra children in each class saves a lot of taxpayer money. You teachers, you have 5 years of university education, so I assume you're able to add and subtract. Provinces and the federal government are running at a deficit. I'm not sure why you think that we should pay higher taxes so that you can make more money when you're already making a lot more money than most of the people that you are asking to foot this bill. So $60,000 a year to start. You have a clean, climate controlled work environment. And let's not forget that you probably have, well, you do have one of the best pension plans and one of the best health plans that anyone else has. So if you're making 60 plus $1,000 a year, I didn't do the due diligence on what it costs for your extra benefits, but I'm gonna say it's probably $20,000 a year anyways. So I think you guys forget about that. You're making 60 plus $1,000 a year, you can easily add another 20 right onto the top of that. The other thing is that you're working fewer than 200 days per year. You're also working a 5-hour workday. And I believe most teachers get a study period as well. One of teachers' first complaints is that, well, the amount of work that we have to take home and we have to do the curriculum. As I said, I have 2 secondary school teachers in my family. And I'd have to say that if on average you have to do an hour of work at home, you're being very well compensated for that time with less than a 200-day work year and a 5-hour work day. If you have to do an hour of work at home, that's still only a 6-hour work day. These hours and the days that you have to work, this is part-time job territory, okay? As far as the hours that you're putting in, these are part-time hours, and you're making $60,000+ a year and have excellent benefits. I have to say that, the truth hurts, especially when you're wrong. I'm no different than anyone else. But you guys need to stop crying about wages. You say that you're sticking up for the part-timers. Let them worry about themselves. They have their own voice. They can take care of themselves. They're not a bunch of babies. It used to be that someone would get into the profession, become a doctor because they wanted to help people, become a teacher because they wanted to nurture youth. Unfortunately, I don't think that this is largely the case anymore. I think a large majority of teachers get into this position because it is high pay and it's cushy. The hours are very cushy. But there's a problem with taking a position because of the pay and the hours. If you don't have an invested interest, if that's not really your love in life, chances are you're not going to be fulfilled. Now, the opportunity exists just like anyone else. You have the choice. If you're not happy at your job, if you're not happy with the pay, you're not happy with the compensation, you're not happy with your retirement package, go find a more fruitful position because you're obviously not happy at your job. And as I said, no child should ever miss a day of school, ever. Whether intentional or not, you are using the children as a bargaining chip. I think it's shameful, really. I think teachers are overprivileged and take for granted a lot of the extras that they are getting out of this job. The curriculum is handed down by the province or by the federal government. There are from year to year some changes that have to be made. They're usually negligible, and the lesson plans are handed down from teacher to teacher. It's not like a teacher has to make a full-blown curriculum for each year. That's not true. Anyways, as I said, I suspect you can add and subtract. We're running at a deficit. I have to say that there's no more money. Stop crying about your need for more money. Stop clouding issues by bringing into it the part-timers. They have nothing to do with you. Stop making children miss time off of school. Stop putting their lives on hold. Be grateful that you have a very good job. Don't expect a larger majority of the population that makes less money than you do to hand over more cash because you're taking a hit because of inflation. Stop being so selfish. We're all taking the same hit. And where's our handout going to come from? We're making a lot less money than you are. We need it a lot worse than you do. Who's gonna give me my handout? So I would suggest that you all be more grateful about the excellent job that you have, the excellent pension plan that you have, the excellent health care that you have. Go to school, teach the kids, do your job. Honestly, I would put a wage freeze on you. The way the economy is, I would put a 3 to 5 year wage freeze on you. And if you don't want to go to work, I'd fire you. I'd figure it out later. I'd find someone to go in and, I'm sure that there are teachers that are out of work that are completely willing to step into your $60,000 an hour job without a raise. Oh, that's the other thing you have is if you so choose, you have job security that no one else has. This is an excellent job, one of the best jobs out there, period. Stop crying about it. Stop expecting handouts. Go to school, teach the kids, and try to be more grateful. Have a great day, all.